Before we start, please make sure to like this video and hit this subscribe button, so you never miss a story like this. And also comments where you are watching from, how many sons and daughters you have. Thanks. Never underestimate the woman you look down on, she might be the one you look up to someday. My name is Emily Carter. I'm from a little town in Georgia where people know your name, but never your worth. I grew up watching my mom wipe tables with pride and go home with blisters on her feet. She taught me that dignity doesn't come from what you wear, it comes from how you work. But that's not how the world sees it. Especially not her. You're wearing that to a gala? Vanessa's voice cut through the room like a knife. You do know this isn't some dive bar, right? It's a charity event. Not your shift at Waffle House. My hands clenched around the tray of champagne flutes I was carrying. Every word she spat was laced with venom. The same girl who used to ignore me in high school was now engaged to my boss, the CEO of the very hotel I served drinks in. And suddenly she thought she owned the damn universe. I'm not here to impress anyone, I said, voice calm but shaking. She snorted, turning to her equally plastic friends. That's the problem with waitresses. No ambition. No class. And definitely no diamonds. They all laughed. Loudly. So everyone could hear. So everyone could turn and look at me. So everyone could judge. You know what? I stepped forward. The tray went down. The fire in my chest rose. You talk a lot about class, Vanessa. But class isn't about money or rings. It's about respect, something you clearly weren't raised with. The room froze. I should have walked away. That's what a quiet girl would have done. But I wasn't quiet anymore. You think just because you're dating the boss, you get to trash people like me? I said. Women who work 3 jobs to keep their lights on? Women who know what struggle tastes like. You think that makes you better? Vanessa blinked, stunned that I was still speaking. I could see the panic ripple across her frozen smile. Oh honey, she scoffed, grabbing a champagne flute, you don't even deserve to be in this room. Girls like you. Girls like me built this room. I snapped. Gasps rippled through the crowd. I didn't care anymore. I was tired. Tired of the humiliation. Tired of staying quiet. Tired of people assuming that just because I wore an apron, I didn't have a dream or a damn spine. Vanessa tried to recover. You think you're some big shot now, huh? Just because the hotel lets you serve drinks with a fake smile? Please. Waitresses don't marry rich. Waitresses don't wear real diamonds. I stepped closer. My voice dropped to a low, dangerous whisper. Then you better look at my hand. She scoffed again, until I raised my left hand, and watched the color drain from her face. Silence. Her eyes locked onto the massive diamond ring sitting proudly on my finger. Not rented. Not borrowed. Bought. Paid for. By the man who used to be her fiancé. The same man who chose kindness over cruelty. Who saw my heart when she was busy showing off hers. You remember Chase, right? I said, loud enough for the room to hear. You left him for a Wall Street guy who dumped you 3 months later. I guess karma has a sense of humor. The crowd shifted. Whispers. Shock. A few people even clapped. Vanessa's face was white. She tried to speak, but no words came out. I earned this ring, I continued. Not because I married rich. But because I became more than what you thought I could be. And just so we're clear. I took off my name tag and held it out. I own this hotel now. The gasps became a roar. Vanessa dropped her glass. It shattered. And for once, I was the one looking down. If you've ever been told you're not good enough because of your job, your clothes, or where you came from, remember this, their opinions are not your destiny. Hard work, heart, and humility will always outshine arrogance. Keep watching, because what Vanessa does next will test everything I built, and I wasn't ready for how far she'd go to bring me down. I didn't always have diamonds on my fingers or confidence in my voice. 6 years ago, I was crying in the back of a walk-in freezer because a customer threw hot soup in my direction when I told him we were out of sourdough. And my manager? He told me to apologize to the customer. That's how invisible I was. That's how cheap the world saw me. But every tear that hit that freezer floor watered a seed I didn't even know I was planting. Because while other people were chasing likes, labels, and lies, I was quietly stacking knowledge. I saved every tip I could. Every bonus shift I picked up became a line in my journal: "You're closer now than yesterday." People don't know this, but my shift would end at midnight, and I'd still go home and take business classes online until 3 a.m. No one was cheering for me. No one thought I'd go anywhere. But I kept pushing. I kept hustling. Because I didn't have a safety net. And I sure as hell didn't have anyone opening doors for me. Except one person. Chase. And no, I didn't meet him the way fairy tales tell it. There was no magic pumpkin, no glittering ballroom. I met him because someone threw up on table 6, and I was the only one willing to clean it. He noticed. Not just me, but how I moved. How I kept my head down, stayed respectful, worked like the whole place was mine, even though I was making $9.50 an hour. He started coming back. Sitting in the corner booth with a book. Always alone. Always quiet. And always tipping in crisp 20s even when he just ordered coffee. I thought he was just another lonely rich guy, maybe guilty over his easy life. Turns out, he wasn't just lonely. He was looking. Not for a girlfriend. Not for a wife. For talent. Grit. Fire. What he found in me wasn't some pretty face or polite smile. He found a partner. The day he slipped me his business card, I thought he was joking. "You ever think about management?" he asked. I laughed, like, out loud. Of what? The mop bucket? He didn't flinch. He just said, "No. I'm thinking something bigger. I own 6 boutique hotels. I'm about to open a 7th. And I need someone who knows how to treat people." I thought about it for days. Told myself it was too good to be true. But deep down, something stirred. That little whisper I'd been pushing down all my life finally shouted back, "Try." So I tried. And I didn't just rise, I soared. Started as an assistant. Then a general manager. Then he brought me into operations. I learned every corner of the hospitality business, and when the day came that he proposed, he didn't just give me a ring. He gave me equity. I became co-owner. The same hands that once bussed tables now held the keys to 6 luxury properties across the East Coast. But you know what stayed the same? People like Vanessa. No matter how far I climbed, there was always someone like her, trying to tear me down. Someone who thought hard work was ugly. Someone who confused wealth with worth. Someone who forgot that diamonds? They're just coal that got crushed and refused to break. Vanessa thought humiliating me at that gala would make her feel powerful. What she didn't know. I wasn't that girl in the freezer anymore. And I wasn't just the woman with a ring. I was the woman who earned everything she had, and I wasn't done yet. But power attracts enemies. And the more I rose, the more Vanessa plotted. Because she couldn't stand the idea that the girl she laughed at was now living the life she lost. And what she did next? It nearly cost me everything. I should have known she wasn't finished. Vanessa never walks away when she's been embarrassed, not without sinking her claws into something first. 2 days after the gala, I walked into our office and found Chase pacing with his phone glued to his ear, face pale, voice clipped. Our accountant, Jordan, was there too, files spread out like a crime scene across the glass table. I thought someone died. Chase? I asked carefully, setting down my bag. What's going on? He didn't look at me. Not at first. He just handed me a manila folder, thick with printed statements, bank slips, withdrawal receipts. Over $200,000 was missing. Gone. Unaccounted for. And every trail led to me. I didn't touch any of this, I said, flipping through pages. I haven't made any of these transfers. Jordan shook his head slowly. They all came from your login. Your credentials. You signed off. I felt the floor tilt under me. No. That's not possible. I never approved this. I never even. But Chase looked at me differently now. Not with love. Not even with doubt. With fear. He said, voice low, you know I trust you. But this is serious. If these numbers don't get resolved by end of quarter, we could be investigated for internal fraud. Do you think I would do that to you? To us? He didn't answer right away. And that silence? It stabbed deeper than anything Vanessa ever said. That's when it clicked. This wasn't an accident. This was her. Vanessa was smart enough to smile in public and strike in the dark. She knew Chase would never believe a stranger, but someone close? Someone he loved? That would shake his whole world. She didn't just want revenge. She wanted destruction. So I started digging. I went through every security log, every email trail, every approval timestamp. Days blurred together. I barely ate. I didn't sleep. I was too busy fighting for my name. Meanwhile, Vanessa posted vacation selfies with captions like, "Some people work hard. Some of us just look good doing it," winking face. She was mocking me. Openly. Brazenly. Because she thought I was cornered. She thought Chase would fold. She thought I would crack. And honestly? I almost did. Because when your partner starts looking at you like a liability instead of a lighthouse, it breaks you in places you didn't know could bend. I started to question myself. Every step. Every decision. Every word I said, I second-guessed it. But I wasn't raised to fall apart. I was raised by a woman who made dinner out of nothing and love out of thin air. A woman who once told me, when the world spits on your name, you look in the mirror and say it louder. So that's what I did. And one night, almost by accident, I found it. A security glitch. A remote login from a device that wasn't mine. It traced back to a temporary IP address, logged just once, the night after the gala. When Vanessa had borrowed my phone to call her driver. I remembered it. I even remember her saying, "Wow, your screen's cracked. I don't know how you deal with that." She laughed, tossed it back like it was nothing. Only now I knew, it was everything. She didn't call anyone. She was cloning access. Setting me up. The moment I brought that data to Jordan, his eyes widened. This changes everything. These approvals could have been spoofed. Within 2 days, we brought in cybersecurity consultants. The breach was confirmed. I was cleared. And Chase? He fell to his knees when he saw the report. "I'm so sorry," he whispered. "I should have known." I looked him dead in the eyes and said, "You should have asked." But it wasn't over. Because Vanessa didn't just want me fired or embarrassed. She wanted the whole company. And what she pulled next? It wasn't just sabotage. It was war. You'd think after being exposed, Vanessa would lay low. Disappear. Maybe cry to her plastic friends or post some cryptic quotes about haters and healing. But no. She doubled down. She went quiet for a few days, sure. But then? Lawsuits. Rumors. Anonymous tips sent to bloggers claiming I stole company funds and slept my way into ownership. She even faked text messages, full-on Photoshop jobs, to make it look like I was blackmailing Chase for the business. And the worst part? Some people believed her. Investors started pulling out. Clients got nervous. My inbox filled with media requests and PR crisis teams offering help, for a price. Meanwhile, Vanessa walked around like she was untouchable. Because technically, she hadn't done anything provable yet. No one could tie the lies directly to her. But I knew it was her. And I was done playing defense. So I set a trap. Not the kind with yelling or fists or public blow-ups, no. That's her style. I wanted something quieter. Smarter. Something that would unravel her from the inside out. I reached out to one of her ex-friends, Sabrina. The only one who ever showed me a hint of kindness at that gala. Turns out, Vanessa had used her, too. Ditched her after stealing a brand deal, then blamed her for leaking nudes she never even had. The girl was bitter. Alone. And ready to talk. We met in a little coffee shop off 3rd Street. She wore sunglasses like we were in a spy movie. You didn't hear this from me, she said, sipping her iced caramel latte, but Vanessa's been bragging about taking you down for months. She even said she had a backup folder, like proof or whatever, just in case anyone ever got close to catching her. My jaw tightened. Where? Sabrina shrugged. She keeps everything on her iCloud. And let's just say, I've helped her reset that password more than once. 2 hours later, we had access. And what we found? Screenshots. Voice recordings. Fake receipts she never sent. DMs where she coached her friends on what lies to post. Even a video file, saved under a folder called Plan B, of her laughing at the idea of framing me for fraud. This is better than stealing her man, she said on camera. I'm gonna take everything she built and leave her crying in the same apron she started in. She looked directly into the phone and flipped it off. Waitresses don't deserve diamonds. There it was. Word for word. I emailed it straight to our legal team. Then to Chase. Then to every investor who walked away when the scandal broke. That video spread like wildfire. And within 48 hours, Vanessa was done. Her social media? Gone. Her reputation? Torched. She got served by 2 law firms and an IRS audit the same morning. I didn't even have to lift a finger, the truth did all the work for me. But me? I wasn't done. I hosted a private event at the same hotel where she first humiliated me, only this time, I walked the red carpet. Not in a rented dress. In a custom black velvet gown, and yes, with the same diamond ring she said I didn't deserve. The place was packed with people who'd watched the drama unfold online. Some came to congratulate. Some came to apologize. And some came to see if the rumors were true. I stepped on stage, cleared my throat, and said one line. Never forget, the woman you insult today might be the woman you work for tomorrow. The room erupted. I saw Vanessa's cousin in the corner, filming me on her phone. Good. Let her send it. Let the world see what real class looks like. Because here's the thing. Vanessa thought diamonds made her valuable. But what made me shine was pressure. I thought it was over after that. But Vanessa wasn't done trying to crawl out of the mess she made. And the final move she made nearly broke my heart. Because it didn't target my name or my money. She came after someone I loved. And this time? She didn't play dirty. She played dangerous. I thought she was gone. After the lawsuits, the public disgrace, the investor apologies and media silence, I thought Vanessa had finally disappeared back into whatever dark hole she came from. But women like her? They don't vanish. They linger, like smoke after the fire, waiting for a weak spot in your walls. She found mine. His name was Noah. Chase's son from a previous relationship. He was only 11. Sweet, shy, and the one person who never looked at me like I didn't belong. He used to call me Emmy before he called me Mom. He meant everything to me. And Vanessa? She knew that. I was in the middle of a meeting when the school called. There's been an incident, the principal said. You need to come down right away. My chest tightened. I flew across town so fast I didn't even grab my purse. When I got there, Noah was in tears. Shaking. Inconsolable. He wouldn't even speak. Just kept pointing to his locker. When I opened it, my blood froze. Inside were photos. Doctored, cruel, explicit, of me. Fabricated emails claiming I was grooming Noah. Fake letters supposedly sent from Chase's account. It was all printed. Stuffed into envelopes. Taped to his locker. It was a setup. To shame me. To shatter him. To ruin us. I knew it was Vanessa. She couldn't touch my money. She couldn't reach my business. So she went after the only place left, my family. And that was the final blow. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't even shake. I just got very, very calm. Like the air before a tornado. That night, I went home. I put Noah to bed. I kissed his forehead and promised him everything would be okay, even though my soul was on fire. Then I did what she never expected. I forgave her. Not for her. For me. Because hate? It chains you. Anger? It poisons every good thing you built. And I was done letting her have that kind of power. So instead of revenge, I chose the spotlight. I held a press conference. I laid it all out. The sabotage, the stolen money, the deepfake images, the fake text campaigns, even the targeted attack on my family. I named no names. But I told every detail. And the world connected the dots. The headlines didn't need her name to shame her, the internet did it for me. She was already ruined. But now? She was finished. Her brand deals? Gone. Her followers? Vanished. Her social circle? Quiet. She moved out of state within a week. And I stayed. I rose. I expanded our company into 2 more cities. I opened a scholarship fund in my mother's name for women in hospitality. I got a letter last month from a waitress in Detroit who said, "Thank you for making me believe I'm more than a name tag." And Noah? He's okay now. We go to therapy. He's learning what strength looks like, not in fists, but in forgiveness. Sometimes he still calls me Emmy. Other times, he just calls me Mom. And Chase? He proposed again. This time, not out of guilt or recovery. This time, because he saw me fight for our family, not with weapons, but with truth. At our wedding, I wore a simple dress and the same diamond ring she mocked. But now? That diamond means something very different. Not money. Not status. Not revenge. It means I survived. I won. And every woman who's ever been laughed at, talked down to, humiliated or overlooked, this win is for you, too. So the next time someone tells you, you're just a waitress. You don't deserve diamonds. You'll never be enough. You smile. You straighten your spine. And you say, watch me.